Hello, my friend, and welcome to Wisdom Trek. I am Guthrie Chamberlain, your guide to wisdom and creating a living legacy. Thank you for joining us for our 5-day-per-week Wisdom and Legacy Building podcast. This is day 391 of our trek, and today is Wisdom Wednesday. Every Wednesday along life's trail, we will dig for the nuggets of wisdom that are found within the book of Proverbs. Today, we will explore the second half of chapter 14. We are broadcasting from our studio at the Big House in Marietta, Ohio. After meeting with our clients in Marietta on Tuesday evening, we are heading back to Charlotte today for a week. It will be good to take a break from the renovation work we have been completing on the Big House, although we will return to Marietta the following Wednesday to work with our clients here and for our granddaughter Aurora's 5th birthday celebration. We are truly blessed that our work is somewhat location independent. Maintaining 2 homes was never something I would have imagined doing, but we do feel that it is God's plan for us for this season of our life. While we fully realize and understand that there are no guarantees in life, real estate, at least, is usually a wise investment long-term, so our hope is that it will remain to be so for many years to come. Making wise decisions to the best of our abilities is important in life, and there is no better source of wisdom than God's Word, and particularly the book of Proverbs. As we head out for our trek for today, let's dig for those nuggets of wisdom that fill the book of Proverbs. Today we will dig in the second half of chapter 14, and today's trek I am calling Wealth is a Crown for the Wise. And let's start with verse 18. Simpletons are clothed with foolishness, but the prudent are crowned with knowledge. Many times you can tell something about a person by the way they dress. In this verse, we can tell if a person is simple because they clothe themselves with foolishness. If you remember from our past studies in Proverbs, that the simple person is one who has the capacity to be wise, but they have not yet obtained it either through ignorance or by their choice. The default attire for this person is being foolish. A person who is truly a fool, though, who's someone who knows what wisdom is and how to obtain it, but has deliberately chosen to ignore wisdom. In contrast to the simpleton, a prudent person will also be known by their attire. They will have wisdom, knowledge, and discernment, and it will be as evident and obvious as if they were wearing a crown. Verse 19, evil people will bow before good people. The wicked will bow before the gates of the godly. A person who chooses to ignore God's precepts will eventually be subservient to the people who have chosen to follow God's precepts. The evil or wicked person will continue on the wrong trails of life, and when they get into trouble because of their unwise decisions, they will have to bow before those who are in the positions of authority for assistance. Verse number 20, the poor are despised even by their neighbors, while the rich have many friends. An unfortunate fact of life is that most people will be friends with somebody who can provide benefit to them. The poor person usually has little to offer, so most people will not like them or get to know them, even if they are close neighbors. A person who does have wealth will have many fair-weathered friends who are looking to benefit themselves, but these type of people will never be true friends. Verse number 21, it is a sin to belittle one's neighbor. Blessed are those who help the poor. As an extension of the previous verse, we see how God would want us to act. This is one of his basic precepts that we should follow. We should not look down on one another or make a person feel inferior for any reason, especially not for an economic reason. The way that we will prosper in life, both spiritually and financially, is to help those who are in need, especially those who would have a difficult time correcting their financial situation on their own. Verse number 22, if you plan to do evil, you will be lost. If you plan to do good, you will receive unfailing love and faithfulness. One of the many reasons that I love to study the book of Proverbs is that it's just so practical. The precepts and principles of God are clear and easy to understand, just like it is easy to understand the law of gravity. If you do evil deeds, then you will lose your way in life and suffer the consequences for your decisions. In contrast to this, if you make it a habit to plan to do good, you will receive the same back in the form of love and faithfulness from others. Verse number 23, work brings profit, but mere talk leads to poverty. The truth of this verse could not get much simpler. If you work and live within your means, then you will be profitable. You will slowly gain wealth in your life. If you only talk about working but never get around to it, then don't be surprised when you end up in poverty with nothing. Verse number 24, wealth is a crown for the wise. The effort of fools yield only foolishness. A crown is a sign of honor, of status, and of someone who has exerted the needed effort to succeed. In addition to royalty, a crown was often given to the winner of an athletic event. If you are wise in your life, and especially financially, your wealth will be your winner's crown. On the other hand, if you are foolish and spend more than you earn and do not make wise investments in life, you will end up harvesting the crop of foolishness. Verse number 25, a truthful witness saves lives, but a false witness is a traitor. There is little sadder than a miscarriage of justice, especially in a court of law. We know that it does happen, but it does not make it noble or right. A person who is truthful in their testimony and all areas of life will help those who are wrongly accused. A person who is not truthful in their testimony will be a traitor to justice and cause harm to others. Verse number 26. Those who fear the Lord are secure. He will be a refuge for their children. If we trust in God, He will provide for us. He will fulfill His promises. He will secure all areas of our lives, and that security will also cover our families. A place of refuge, a place of safety and security. Verse number 27. Fear of the Lord is a life-giving fountain. It offers escape from the snares of death. Respect for God and His precepts in life will provide the strength and vitality that we need to live good and godly. It will keep us safe because we will be wise in the decisions that we are making. Verse number 28. A growing population is a king's glory. A prince without subjects has nothing. The results of our efforts are proof of whether we are good and honorable. For a king, that would be the number of people who are his subjects. For someone else, it would be that which we are responsible for. In contrast to this, even if you are in a position of power or status, if you are not responsible for anything, then it is just an empty shell. Verse number 29. People with understanding control their anger. A hot-tempered person shows great foolishness. One sure sign of a wise and confident person is how they act when confronted with conflict and stress. If you are wise and understanding, then there is no reason to lash out at others. A person who loses their temper shows immaturity, selfishness, impatience, lack of confidence, and foolishness. Verse number 30. A peaceful heart leads to a healthy body. Jealousy is like cancer in the bones. With all the advancements in medical science the past few decades, only confirms what King Solomon told us several thousand years ago. If you learn to control stress and remain at peace, then you will maintain your health. Contrary to this, if you are jealous and stressed, then the likelihood of coming down with cancer or other stress-related illnesses will greatly increase. Verse number 31. Those who oppress the poor insult their Maker, but helping the poor honors Him. God cares for everyone, that is true, and especially for those who are less fortunate. When we care for those who cannot care for themselves, we are taking on the character of God in our lives. In doing this, we will bring honor to His name. Verse number 32. The wicked are crushed by disaster, but the godly have a refuge when they die. When we deliberately refuse to follow God's way, then we will become wicked in our lives. We will have no security or protection from that which can harm us. The wicked have no hope. On the other side of that is those who choose to live good and godly lives. We know that God is our refuge and our strength, a very present help in times of trouble. Most of all, we know that our eternity is secure. Verse number 33. Wisdom is enshrined in an understanding heart. Wisdom is not found among fools. The person who has chosen to follow God and His Word will gain wisdom throughout their lifetime. Wisdom will become such an integral part of them that it is embedded in the very fabric of who they are. Contrary to that are those who have chosen to remain a fool. It will be evidence because it will lack basic wisdom. Verse number 34. Godliness makes a nation great, but sin is a disgrace to any people. This is another principle from God, one that many nations of the world would be wise to take note of. If the people of a nation choose to live godly lives, then the nation will be strengthened. In contrast to this, if the people of a nation choose that which is contrary to God's ways, then other nations will despise them. Verse number 35. A king rejoices in wise servants, but is angry with those who disgrace him. Whether you are a king, a business owner, a manager, or a parent, you will rejoice when those that you are responsible for make wise choices. On the flip side of that, there is nothing more heartbreaking than to see someone you are responsible for making foolish choices. It will make you angry and disgraced that they cannot see the wise way. Today's trail is once again filled with so many nuggets of wisdom. These truths are not hard to implement into our lives. We just have to do it. We can easily consume and digest them, which will strengthen us each day. Make it a habit of incorporating these wise principles into your life. Tomorrow we will have another short segment of Wisdom Unplugged, where we will uncover an inspirational wisdom quote. So encourage your family and friends to join us, and then come along with us tomorrow for another day of Wisdom Trek, Creating a Legacy. Now we'll finish our trek for today. Just as you enjoy these daily doses of wisdom, we ask you to help us to grow Wisdom Trek by sharing it with your family and friends through email, Facebook, Twitter, or in person when you meet with them, and invite them to come along with us each day. If you'd like to listen to any of the past daily treks, they are available at wisdom-trek.com. And don't forget to subscribe to Wisdom Trek so that each day's trek will be downloaded to you automatically. The journal for today's trek is available at wisdom-trek.com. Thank you so much for allowing me to be your guide, your mentor, but most importantly, I am your friend as I serve you through the Wisdom Trek podcast and journal. As we take this trek of life together, let us always live abundantly, love unconditionally, listen intentionally, learn continuously, lend to others generously, lead with integrity, and leave a living legacy each day. This is Guthrie Chamberlain reminding you to keep moving forward, enjoy your journey, and then create a great day every day. See you tomorrow.